Well, we got betrayed. Well, maybe. Now after everything that I've heard, I don't know. After so many years of playing this game, this is the first time I have to deal with a betrayal. Not only that, but to make this situation even crazier, our enemies also got betrayed. Double whammy. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you what happened from all the information that I was able to get from both sides. So I'll do my best to be fair, but obviously one side is going to say that one thing happened, and the other side is going to say that something else happened instead. First, we'll start off with what happened on our side. So in this KVK, it was water and fire versus earth and wind, right? And at pass 4 being the first zone fight, my camp is water and we were fighting wind, and fire and earth were supposed to be fighting each other as well. Well, in our fight with wind, we got our asses handed to us if I'm being honest. They had way more players than we did and they showed us no mercy. They beat us pretty badly, but we don't like to give up until the very end. So we held out for as long as possible, but ultimately we lost the zone. That was our side. Meanwhile, when Fire and Earth were fighting up north, Fire couldn't put up much of a fight either, so they just got obliterated even worse. And so end of story. It was no competition whatsoever, they stood no chance. So KVK was practically decided in the first zone fights. It was obvious that the enemy was going to win. I mean, how could we lose the first two zones and then win Kingsland? There's just no way, you know? And the problem is soon to come. When Earth and Wind were discussing who gets the star, their negotiations were whoever gets the most kill points will ultimately get the star, because in that theory, that's the camp who contributed more to KVK. Pretty easy to understand, right? But remember when I said that my camp got beat up pretty badly, but we fought until the very end? Well, that's where the issue came in for the enemies. Through our stubbornness to give up without a fight until the very end, we opened that door for Windcamp to gather more kill points because we just wanted to put up as much of a fight as possible because that's just how we are. And with Fire putting up almost little to no fight, Earthcamp couldn't really gather the points that they were hoping for to get the star. And we can actually see this through Windcamp's mail that they sent out, and it goes as follows. Prior to this KVK, we spoke with both Fire and Earth about allying. After discussing with our campmates, we felt allying with Earth was the best move for our camp. Looking at the map, it gave our camp a very good shot at winning this KVK, while still giving every camp/kingdom the option to take meaningful fights. It also on paper gave both Earth and Wind fair chances at the star. The difference in strength from Wind to Water was similar to that of Earth and Fire, so we felt like left to right would give both Earth and Wind fair opportunities to push. Okay, then they say that Fire originally asked to be allied with Earth, so that should tell you their mindset or intention, but if I'm being honest, I'm pretty sure that everyone tried being allied with Earth. I mean, why wouldn't they? Earth was obviously the strongest camp by far, but whatever. Then the mail goes on to say that on June 26, Earth asked Wind how they wanted to settle who gets the star, because that's what Earth has been after this whole time. And Earth said to do it off of KP alone, and Wind wanted to include Deads as well, but Earth said no and reiterated that they wanted to do it off of KP alone. Then they go on to say, unfortunately not every kingdom showed up the way we expected when initial alliances were set. Most notably, Firecamp did not show up as much as Water. Internally, we were preparing for an Earth betrayal, but truthfully, we were not expecting it last night. Our camp led Earth in DKP by only 2 billion, so the idea Earth would want to change our original agreement before even playing out Zone 7 was not something that we were expecting. Last night, that's exactly what happened. Earth approached us asking to renegotiate the star. We reshared the data and asked why should we renegotiate before the next pass opening and why they would want this after we had fought harder than they had. It became clear very quickly that they had already made up their mind on wanting to push for the star regardless of what we had agreed upon, and Diplo dissolved very quickly. So like I had said earlier, they both wanted the star, but Water fought more than Fire did, and so Earth couldn't really get the points that they were wanting to get the star that they had negotiated on. Now everyone was kind of expecting a betrayal because days before the Altar of Darkness was opened, in this area Fire is red and Earth is pink. Fire never built flags towards the altar, and our camp was asking them, hey, aren't you guys gonna fight them? They never responded. We asked again the next day, no response, and so on and so forth for like 6 to 7 days. So they had originally told us that they were going to fight Earth, and then they just ghosted us for days and showed no signs of fighting. They wouldn't respond, and I guess we were like, okay, they're probably planning something, we just don't know what. Meanwhile, we were getting mopped by Windcamp at the altar, and even though we were completely outmatched, we weren't giving up. At least that's what I heard. I was drunk and asleep, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, after the altar fights, Earth started attacking their ally, which was Windcamp's AFK's army at their shared altar. And our camp started attacking Firecamp at our shared altar because they completely ghosted us, said they were going to fight Earth and didn't, and then they never built towards Earth, even now they still haven't. And our people got word that Fire and Earth have already been talking about betraying us for a while, because Earth wants to star really badly, and this was Fire Camp's only shot at winning, so they were sandbagging off of Earth. That was everything that I was able to get from our side, at least. On Fire's side of things, they say that they were supposed to share our altar and that we'd agreed that they got first dibs, which is why they didn't fight Earth in the first place. And then around 30 minutes left into the altar, my camp, Water Camp, went in and defeated all their marches that were AFK at the shared altar. They tried fighting back, but they were mostly AFK and didn't expect it, so after that, they were really pissed at Water Camp. Naturally, right? Then simultaneously, in our shared zone 5, people were getting swarmed and zero, and again simultaneously, my camp, Water Camp, was starting to talk smack about Fire, saying that they were so easy to beat and that they don't deserve the altar, shenanigans like that. Then after Earth and Wind had their fallout, they both reached out to Fire asking if they wanted to ally, and Fire chose Earth because that was their best chance at winning. I will say that Fire denied conspiring with Earth before all of this happened. I couldn't find out if they were responding to our questions in Diplo. I wish I knew, but I don't. I couldn't find an answer to that. But they did say that the reason they didn't build towards Earth, well, they said that they were doing that, but that it takes time to build over there, so they were conserving what they could, and that they were also building towards them before, but one of their campmates completely messed up all the territory as well as the fort that they had built, so they had to completely start over. And that this was their plan at building if they were going to fight Earth, but obviously that's not the case anymore. And also when I asked, they said that they had no intention of partnering with Earth and weren't conspiring either until we did what we did. So there's that as well. So now what was originally supposed to be Fire and Water versus Earth and Wind has now become Fire and Earth versus Wind and Water. Honestly, all of it is extremely stupid in my opinion, but most of the time KVK drama is always stupid. I wish I could get a real timeline of everything that had happened, but that was impossible. So all I could do was display both sides as best as I could with the information that I was able to get. So let me know what you guys think. If you're in this KVK with me, feel free to spew out hate. I honestly don't care as far as everyone else. Hopefully you enjoyed this bit of drama. I just think it's cool that it feels like a brand new KVK. But yeah, that's it for the video. Later.